gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the final round of the Aquila, some kind of Southern Scottish shenanigans in Silver Stetson with the goalpost. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is the Dalmatian sensation, Magas.
Dalmatian, you said? That would make me very, very spotted right now.
Are you not from the area of Dalmatia?
I don't believe Serbia is actually considered part of Dalmatia.
You would be incorrect. I have no idea.
I believe it only includes basically Slovenia and Croatia, possibly parts of Bosnia.
We would like to welcome you to the Geography Podcast that happens to have car videos for some reason.
Indeed. I always like the flag of Dalmatia, I must say. It's one of the cooler flags.
Just a big old dog.
I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. I remember that I like it.
That is fair.
I think it has a horse on it. Anyways, we are here at Silverstone for the finale of the Silverstone, of the British Tour Aquila Series. And we got a championship up for grabs between Tobias Thierolf and Henrik Andreasen. I do not know the permutations that will lead to the championship because we have dropped scores to consider in this whole thing. So it is hard to say. But they are the two men that can still take this title home. Martin Edmonds, who's in third place, both in qualifying and in the championship, cannot mathematically catch them. So it will either be the German or the Norwegian. And Tobias has the edge heading into race number 1. He is on pole, ahead of Henrik Andreasen, Martin Edmonds, René Edemel, Bertrand Barrier, Antonio Costa, James Butler, Andrew D, Magic Kashuk, and Adam Komorowski. Followed by Sean Kenny, Andy Darnell, Raul Valoria, Steve Davidson, Laissez Passer, Mauricio Delgado, Taka Maroka, Rick Martel, Vic Vega, Scott Nick, and Andy Foster. I also know, because this is our third attempt at doing this. Actually, technically it's our fourth attempt, yeah. That there are at least 3 other cars that did not post lap times. Because I know that there is, I'm not remembering who they are now, but there were at least 24 cars in the warm-up phase that we are coming to. So there's at least a 24-car grid here for race number 1.
Spoilers.
And there's one of them, Ken Scott, who starts from 22nd place, apparently.
Ken Scott, not to be confused with Scott Nick.
Indeed, because we have Scott Nick and Ken Scott, and hopefully at some point they get to race each other, and we can get all kinds of confused and all kinds of just.
But what about Chuck Testa?
Chuck Testa. That would be intriguing.
Oh, Chuck Testa.
We got a couple of guys who are going to be doing a practice start here because they want to find exactly the point where the clutch bites on these cars for the best getaway possible on the grid. I know Martin and Andrew D are going to do a little bit of it. I know Magic Kashuk's going to do a little bit of it, and as well as Andy Darnell. And everybody else, there's Ikain Lopez, who might be starting from the back. He is the lowest down car we have seen. I don't know if there is more than 24 cars in the field here today. This is the full GP layout. We've seen the national layout here before. We've handled pretty much all the British circuits, Donington Park. We've been to Brands Hatch. We've been to Silverstone before. I think that's it. I think those are the only 3 British tracks in the series, in the game.
What about the downtown Glasgow overpass?
I am just making sure that I am not misinformed on that. I am correct. We're at Brands Hatch for round 1, Silverstone for round 2, Donington Park for round 3, back to Brands Hatch, and now back to Silverstone. That is the plan here. This will be the longest race in terms of lap length on the calendar. What do you think about that, Byron?
I think that they just haven't experienced the glory and majesty of racing on the inverted NASCAR circuit, which it means everybody goes around the world to the right. And it's the longest thing you've ever seen, regardless of length of lap.
I mean, we've done the Nordschleife. I think we can categorically say that that's not the case. We were chosen by the Nordschleife. We did not choose the Nordschleife.
Fudge Schleif OP.
Indeed.
We'd like to welcome you again to the 35th hour of warm-up.
I guess
Martin
I'll get...
Edmonds driving the spearmint flavored car.
I will mention that I am planning to make a comeback to sim racing this month.
Hey.
February.
Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years.
I have been here for years, but I have been away from a bit with injuries to both legs, but they're feeling a little bit better now. I've got the walking boot off from the one foot. That's good.
Legless pooch!
And physiotherapy has been going very, very well. So I think I'll be back soon. Which means that there will be a series that I'll probably try and cobble together. And a couple of people are trying to bully me into doing an enduro race. I don't think I'm going to say yes to the enduro race. I don't think that's a thing. That I'm going to test right away. But it's an option, I suppose. All right, race time in 1 minute time. So Byron, anyone you're keeping your eye on here today?
Mauricio Delgado.
His positivity draws you to him.
That and the fact that he is a very, very large enthusiast of wine and cheese. And I support... you haven't... Bruh, do you not pay attention to Discord?
I do, but not necessarily the food part.
Your boy has a charcuterie board and some wine almost every time. And sometimes he's like, guys, I can't make it, and sends us a picture of like this wild food that he's eating somewhere that isn't at his race rig. Mauricio, salud.
All right, here we go. We're with Rene Hermer to start. We got 28 cars. Wow. That's a lot of people who did not qualify, including Ken Scott, Durlan Iceman, Ekron Lopez, Paul Rogers, Marquez, Domino, and Gill. Good start off the bat by the front row. They have cleared away, and Martin Edmonds is in third place. Antonio Costa up into fourth there in the, let's see right there, black and yellow car. Moving backwards was Rene Hermer, who also lost after Bertrand Barrier. Vic Vega off the track. And Barrier trying to go around the outside of Costa is denied for now. And we have some contact further back. Sean Kenny getting involved in the extracurriculars there with one of the other Lotus cars, Durlan Iceman.
What if I told you that Gulf Oil to the front?
Antonio Costa going side by side with Barrier, but the yellow submarine moves on through.
We all live next to a yellow ex-marine. Because you got jaundice.
I see.
One of my former co-workers came down with, oh, no, Gulf Oil. Steve Dave, what are you doing?
Steve Dave is off.
To the front.
Vic Vega is way off the pace, by the way. So it looks like whatever happened to him at the start has left some possibly terminal damage. He is
terminated.
Not getting going in a correct manner. Thierol still in the lead. Henrik Andreasen in second. The battle for the championship has gotten a 1.4 second lead over Martin Edmonds and the rest of the pack.
I do like the gold rims on Henrik's car.
Rounding off the top 10, we got Andrew D, James Butler, Adam Komorowski, and Andy Darnell. Your big winner off the start might be Mr. Ikain Lopez, though. He started in 24th position. He's up to 17th. So climbing 7 spots. And that feels like that might be the biggest victory. Although I say that, and now... Oh, never mind. Well, he is changing positions with Mr. Marquez, who also started towards the back. So I would say they probably are co-owners of the Big Start Award.
Gonna give it to him. Gonna give it full
Marquez
throttle,
is
baby.
now falling backwards, so something has happened to the other Spaniard.
So, as I was saying previously, one of my former coworkers, he came down with some sort of condition where he basically turned bright yellow like Pikachu. And they're pretty sure it was his liver, but no one could really figure out what the fuck it was.
Generally speaking, that would sound like liver.
Yeah, but they couldn't pin down. It wasn't jaundice. It was I don't know. They thought it might be cancer for a bit, but that is not the case.
I see. Did it clear up?
Yeah.
Okay.
after a while, but he's got like anemia and not doing well. Like he's not in distress or anything, but he's not totally excellent.
His body does not function quite as prescribed. Is what you're getting at.
So sometimes we make fun of him. He's like, "Oh, are you feeling okay? You feel a bit, lemonish, or?"
Do you feel like saying Pikachu?
I'm gonna start calling him Lemony Cricket.
Do you feel like casting Thunderbolt?
I'm a little surprised that no one posts because they're on another Discord as well, and they try to get people together for game nights, as you do with video games, such as what we're watching here. And he will, sometimes like, I'm not feeling great, and no one chimes in with the screaming lemon, unacceptable! So I think that's going to change.
I mean, I feel like that's just being considerate to the man.
Nope.
Andy Darnell made his way up into 9th place, by the way. We did not see that on camera, but I have noted that he is up to 9th ahead of Adam Komorowski.
Get him, Renee! Guilfoyle to the front.
Well, you're hoping that Rene Ermer can come from 6th place to the front. I'm not sure I'm a big believer in that happening.
That's because you don't have faith in the correct color scheme. I do like the green on that car, though.
It's more that I just think that, we said that before, actually. I think we rather like Mr. James Butler's livery. I would say that my response to that is just that, honestly, the livery does not make a difference as to how fast you go. So
you don't seem to understand, sir. The Guilfoyle livery adds +5 to all lubrosity. Therefore, you go faster.
I see your point. Bertrand Barrier. Putting the pressure on Martin. Canadian French versus French.
En français, haha.
Magic Kazchuk has tumbled down the order. He was in 11th. He now finds himself in 15th place, having lost out to Laissez Passer, Raul Valoria, Mr. Tomeno. Apologies, I do not know your first name. And Scott Nick. We also had one of the Lotus liveried cars off the track there in the wall. So that's a not great moment for them. Looks like we've lost Kane Lopez as well as Vic Vega from the race. And we are down to 26 cars now. Durlon Iceman bringing up the rear. Tobias Theerolf in the lead.
Monsieur René, he go to the front. He, the slick operator, he used the Guilfoyle look.
Well, he's got to get past Antonio Costa to make that happen. And we do know he outqualified Costa, so he does have the pace. Qualified P4 is back to P6, having lost out to Barrier and to Costa. So we'll see what he can do. Very competent driver. I've had a lot of on-track interaction with Rene Ermer, although not recently, obviously. And he's obviously been making massive improvements because his speed now would be something I, personally, could not keep up with.
That's just the Costa doing business.
James Butler down the inside of Andrew D. That's 7th place. The classic Butler versus D rivalry. Your boy Mauricio Delgado running in 17th place. Ahead of your other boy, Sean Kenny.
Lucky number 17. It's been a while since Jonathan Kenningston and I have collaborated on some liveries.
And your other boy, Scott Nixon, 15th.
Big Dick Scott Nick. It's kind of a sad day for the NFL where Big Dick Nick and Big Cock Brock, neither of them made the Super Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the NFL is a much worse place. But there is rumor that your boy, Aaron Rodgers, is going to go to the Raiders.
I think the most prominent rumors still have the Jets as the likely destination.
That would suck. That would be a bad idea. That would be a Favre-esque maneuver.
Well, the Jets are talking about signing Nathaniel Hackett, who is the former QB coach for Brett Favre, but of course, or not Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, but was just the head coach in Denver and did a spectacularly bad job.
Perhaps above his station.
Being a good QB coach and a good head coach, not necessarily the same thing.
Correct.
Isaiah Passe looking down the inside of Real Valuria for 11th place, and he's got it. Mauricio Delgado getting shoved around a little bit by Taka. He hangs around the outside in the yellow submarine.
We live next to, yeah, sorry, I already did that joke. I already did that one.
Think about the only thing that we can say for sure for Rodgers is he is not going to be in the NFC. Because if he is indeed traded by the Packers have said they will not trade him to an NFC team.
What if he ends up on the Bucks?
That's an NFC team, so that would be no.
That would be kind of hilarious. Send him to the Raiders.
I mean, the Raiders have bigger problems than just a QB, so I don't think he'd be particularly interested in it.
You know what? They should definitely get Aaron Rodgers and definitely see if they can get a hold of that Khalil Mack guy.
They are talking about getting Khalil Mack. That is true.
And they should definitely get Bill Romanowski to be the quarterback coach.
Here's how you don't get killed.
This is all the ways they used to cripple folk. Don't let them do this.
Don't let him do this or this or this. How is he not in the longest yard?
How is he not in jail?
Exactly. I mean, it would be double.
Not even just on fictitious type stuff, but like that dude, didn't he bite somebody's finger? Like not off, but like he definitely bit somebody's finger.
He assaulted his teammates as well a couple of times.
He's like the Barry Bonds of football.
I'd say he's worse than the Barry Bonds of football. Barry Bonds, to be honest.
I don't know.
Like Bonds almost sure to be cheated on steroids, and was not a particularly pleasant person. But I don't believe he ever assaulted his teammates.
He routinely assaulted teammates.
I don't recall this.
I
know he got into a screaming match with Jeff Kent, but I always just take that to be.
Oh yeah, no, and he did not fuck with Jeff Kent outside of that. But I mean, yeah, he. I can think of, well, there was the time he fucking smashed somebody's pizza in their own face. Then there were at least 2 other times he straight up punched like teammates.
Very out of shape moment there for Raw Valoria. It has opened up the opportunity here for Alejandro Tomino to go on the attack. Alejandro is sporting your favorite livery, the Gulf Oil livery.
Alejandro es muy caliente.
Back to the front, Bertrand Barrier is putting the pressure back on Martin Emmons. He would love that final podium position. Behind him is still the battle between Costa and Ermer.
One thing I can say about Romanowski, you can't say about Bonds. The man has titles.
Yeah, I don't really value football rings, though.
Wow.
Well, no, it's just because it is such a team sport. Side-by-side action, Mauricio Delgado and Taka going at it again, and this time it looks like Taka, in the Red Devil livery, is going to get the job done, up in 16th place. And behind them, that is Sean Kenny in the Lotus.
I would like to state for the record that since Mio does not appreciate team sport rings, he hates hockey.
No, it's very important to, it's still a great achievement and whatever. It's just that in football, your ability as one player, outside of the quarterback, and even the quarterback doesn't really necessarily do that, because case in point, Dan Marino has less rings than Brad Johnson. I've said. It's just not indicative of your career. Basketball, I would say very much is, because you can drag a team to a championship. See the 94 Houston Rockets with Hakeem Olajuwon and realize you can't name anyone else that was on that team.
I would also like to posit LeBron James winning a title for Cleveland.
He didn't have nobody. Like, don't get me wrong. That team had no business winning a
He had,
without
I
him.
think, if I remember correctly, he had top in every offensive stat.
Oh yeah, no, that's just the top. But that's the way they built the team, and also that's the type.
No,
of
I mean for like the whole for like both teams.
I know.
He fucking drag you across
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that
screaming.
I'm not saying that LeBron James did not play absolutely fantastic while getting that championship for Cleveland, because he absolutely did. As Antonio Costa is trying to poke his nose here in the battle for the podium. I'm just saying that there were other contributing players there that were actually fairly good that you would actually remember their names. Whereas with Hakeem Olajuwon, it's literally like, I give you that roster, you don't know anyone on that roster.
Scottie Pippen.
Pippen was not there.
Charles Barkley.
Barkley was not there.
I'm sure that if I looked at, I can't remember anything off the top of my head.
Their second best player was probably Mario Elliott.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was perhaps the most one-man show to a championship that has ever happened. Honestly. Like,
which year was this?
1994.
94. All right.
First of the Rockets, 2 victories. Second one, he had Clyde Drexler.
Had the Glide, hell yeah.
Although towards the end of Drexler's career, it was not one of his better seasons. But still, name value and leadership and still. When I say towards the end of his career, I mean still like 17 points kind of guy, contributes some rebounds and some assists, some good defense.
Clyde the Glide. Clyde the Glide. All right, what do we got here? Sam Cassell. You can eat shit, my.
He was a rookie, if I do believe.
I do not care. I know who
I don't
Sam
know.
Cassell
Like
is.
I mean this. Like I don't think he.
They had Robert
played.
Horry.
That was very young Robert Horry.
Don't, he's equivocating again.
No, it's
Vernon Maxwell.
Who?
Vernon Maxwell.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll give you Vernon Maxwell. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Larry Robinson.
I don't think you're thinking of the right person. Larry Robinson, the hockey player, is amazing. Larry Robinson, the basketball player.
Maybe I'm smashing like a basketball player and a hockey player together.
No, I think you're literally just thinking of a hockey player. There was an all-time Montreal Canadian great named Larry Robinson.
No, my brain went to
Andy Foster off track.
Shit. Who was the Admiral?
David Robinson.
David, right? See, yeah, I got Larry and Robinson, but not like either of those guys in my brain. So yeah, they got Sam Cassell. You got Robert Horry.
Yeah, here's the thing, though.
They got Vernon Maxwell.
Let me pull up the stats here, because you're looking at a roster. Here's the thing. Second leading scorer.
The roster.
The second leading scorer on the team was Otis Thorpe, averaging a whopping 14 points a game.
All right.
That's nothing. That is nothing for a secondary scorer.
Wow. I'm going to call Otis Thorpe right now and have
Sam
him come
Cassell
to your house.
averaged 6.5 points a game and was a rookie. Robert Horry, honestly, kind of barely played.
Wow.
Like you're looking at some people who very much like I all the respect in the world to Sam Cassell, all the respect in the world to Robert Horry. By the way, Robert Horry, the greatest dude when it comes to like winning rings. And by the way, Taka 16 points, 15 points. Valley with Mauricio. Somebody was off the track there. I didn't catch you.
Kenny Smith wasn't nothing.
Kenny Smith wasn't nothing. He was okay. But like these are all like role players at best, and Hakeem doing a lot of heavy lifting.
You play enough roles, you got a whole play. I mean, you can't have Hamlet without Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
True, but you really need a good Hamlet.
I'm not saying that you're incorrect. I'm just saying that perhaps you are.
And I'm saying that LeBron had a lot of like similar role players, and also better with his Kyrie Irving was on the team.
Kyrie Irving's trash.
And to be clear, I don't like Kyrie Irving's views on the flat Earth,
anything,
the vaccine, the role of a head coach on a team.
Didn't he try and back up Kanye on some shit as well?
Oh yeah.
What a trash human being.
But being a trash human being does not preclude you from being an excellent basketball player. Durlan Iceman off track.
The Durlan.
moving back into 5th place ahead of Rene Armour. Sorry, I had a belt burst there. A belt.
Grotesque.
Andy Foster off again. What is up, Andy Foster? Andy,
I would,
normally a solid man.
I would like to state for the record that previous to this recording, Michael ate an entire loaf of bread.
I did eat 8 crazy breadsticks.
He took an entire stack of Wonder Bread and crammed it right down his neck hole. And then put Easy Shake Parmesan on that, which is gross.
Now, I went to Little Caesars and I got a order of crazy bread.
He had a little seizure and then ate a bunch of bread.
I really wish they would give me options for the dips on those. It's just like, no, you can have the marinara. I'm like, I don't want the marinara.
Oh man, if they could give you that with like some sort of cheesy jalapenos shenanigans,
or their new sweet barbecue.
I'm kind of over sweet barbecue. If you can't make barbecue sauce without it being super sweet, I think you're doing it fucking the wrong ass.
I don't know. I like sweet barbecue. I mean, not universally. There are terrible examples.
Yeah. But then again, my own father put ketchup on brisket once, and you know, we had a meeting. We thought maybe oh my
somebody
God.
off the track didn't catch who because it popped up, and then we went right back to Rene Armour. By the way, Tobias Theerolf kind of running away with this thing. He's 10 seconds out in front of Henrik Andreasen. We've not had a look at that in a long time, and there's probably a reason for that. As one of the Red Devil cars having a rough time. That is Raul Valoria. Really bad race for him, actually. Oh, another one off. That's Taka.
Damn it, Taka Michinoku.
So, recap of the top 10. Theerolf leading from Andreas and Edmonds. No changes there. Costas up to 4th. Barrier down to 5th. Then it is Ermer, Butler, D, Darnell, Komorowski. Not a lot of changes, to be honest. Tomino up to 11th place. Laissez Passer is 12th. Followed by Magic Kaschuk, Mauricio Delgado, Steve Davidson. Steve Davidson's coming back through the field. Doing a good job. Marquez, Nick, Maroka, Martel, Kenny, Valoria, Gill. Ken Scott is in 23rd place. And then it is Andy Foster and Durlon Iceman. Looks like we probably have lost Paul Rogers from the race.
We will never lose Paul Rogers. He's the finest singer in the world. Don't you dare ever say anything about Paul Rogers ever again.
I just said he's retired from the race. That's not a statement of anything beyond that.
Will Fernando for Gil.
Fernando Gil running in 23rd position. And somebody going off in the background there. That was Ken Scott, I do believe. That is a very chrome car.
I'm going to listen to 13 straight hours of Bad Company just to try and drown out your negativity towards Paul Rogers.
Fernando Gil back on track, although going kind of slowly. Martin Edmonds trying to catch up with Henrik Andreasen. He's actually climbed to 1.1 seconds back at him, so I'm not sure if Andreasen has a problem or maybe he's just, banking it home, bringing it home in second place. That's big points for him in the championship battle, although he will lose ground to Theerolf here today by the looks of it. Steve Davidson catching up to Mauricio Delgado to get that 14th place. And we pick up Andy. That is not Andy Darnell that we are looking at. So I believe that is Rene Armour.
That is the finest livery known to mankind.
There's Andy Darnell. All over the back end of Andrew D. Trying to find his way up and past him. Wonder if Mr. Darnell considers Silverstone to be his home track. He's, of course, from the UK. But that could mean that he considers Brands Hatch to be his home. Donington Park, Woolton Park, Snitterton, Rockingham.
What's this about Rocking Horse Pass?
And we pick up Ken Scott somewhere. Oh, having a rough time.
Did I tell you that I believe I've had an emotional breakthrough as to why I'm a fanboy of the Gulf Oil, other than the fact that it looks so good?
You have not. Please share.
I believe it stems partially. Yeah,
one of the Gulf Oils spun around.
I thought
Steve Davidson.
Damn it, Steve Dave.
Dropping down the order behind Marquez, behind Nick, behind Taka, behind Sean Kenny. Nope, that is an unlapping Lotus car. Okay, continue with your story.
I refuse. Okay, here it is. I think it kind of partially stems back to the fact that I was a big Edmonton Oilers fan when I was a kid. To get the blue and the orange.
Similar.
Yeah, and when I was a child, there was this man named Wayne Gretzky, and there was another man named Mark Messier, and there was several other men, Esa Tikkanen,
Yari Curry, Grant Fuhr, Paul Coffey, Glenn Anderson, Adam Graves.
Basically, everybody on that team is. I think everybody on that team is in the Hall of Fame. Maybe not all of them, but pretty much.
Dave Semenko.
Was it Yari Curry?
Mm-hmm.
Was Theo Fleury on that?
No, he was not.
All right. Wow, what a fucking team. Anyway, yeah, and then they traded him to the Kings, and it was the worst idea they've ever had. Worst move in sports history. Oh, we have a dynasty. What do we do? Oh, let's just not have.
I mean, the dynasty was going to have to come to an end at some point, as economics became a factor.
Negative.
And they tried to make some recoup. I mean, really, the problem with the LA trade is that Jimmy Carson just never panned out as a particularly good hockey player. He was supposed to be kind of the centerpiece of replacing Wayne Gretzky.
Well, I got some good news and bad news. The good news is, I guess you got money. The bad news is, what the fuck?
Anyways, continue.
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, okay. I think the color schemes are... Heck and darn.
Big power slide on the last lap. That could cost him a top 10 position here, as here comes Laissez-Passer.
The laziest.
There is Darnell. Is he still in ninth place? Did he manage not to lose a spot off that? That's pretty impressive. Good work. I guess you could take risks when you're that far ahead. Martin Edmonds is charged for second place has come to an end. He's fallen to 1.9 seconds behind Henrik Andreasen. Alejandro Tomino looking for a top 10 here. Looking to pry that away from Adam Komorowski.
Go Alejandro.
Why am I surprised that Adam Komorowski's in the black and yellow livery, to be honest? It just doesn't seem like his livery.
Well, he, like you, is a big Steelers fan.
He'll come across the line in 10th place, ahead of Tomino, as well as Laissez-Passer. This is not Tomino that we are looking at. This is Mauricio Delgado.
Go Mauricio.
Your boy Rick Martel.
Not rocking the Gulf Oil. Rocking the Spider-Man.
I believe that he was assigned that livery to be my teammate, which unfortunately, the injuries have taken me from that team. My apologies, Mr. Martel.
Unfortunately, Mike has chopped both of his own legs off.
They'd be less painful. Wrapping it up here, and then we'll have a reverse grid top 10, I do believe, which would put Adam Komorowski on pole for race number 2.
Oh my god.
With Andy Darnell joining him on the front row, and D.N. Butler on row number 2. Might be top 12, so it might be Laissez-Passer on pole. We'll find out. There are your final results. Theorolf wins the race and nabs himself fastest lap. Ahead of Henrik Andreasen, Martin Edmonds, Antonio Costa, Bertrand Barrier, René Herme, James Butler, Andrew D, Andy Darnell, Adam Komorowski, Alejandro Tomino, Laissez-Passer, Magic Kazchuk, Mauricio Delgado. We never found out what Mr. Marquez's first name was. We finished in 15th place.
That would be Danilo.
Unlikely, given that it starts with an R. probably Roberto or
Reginald.
Raphael.
Reginald or Romeo.
Could be Romeo.
Could be Rigatoni.
Unlikely, but possible. Could be Hyan.
Could be. Yeah, go Adam. Fucking drive for freedom. Get out in the parking lot.
Komorowski exploring the edges of the track.
Get out in the parking lot. It'll be awesome. Blow some donuts. Wipe out some fans.
There's all those grandstands around Silverstone. With some very two-dimensional looking people. There is a surprising amount of rendering to these tracks, actually. We've done it before with like Imola, where there's like, you know, all kinds of random landmarks that are way away from the track that you would never see driving it, but they are there. It's a bit weird. So Adam Komorowski could be your pole sitter for race number 2 here, if it is indeed a top 10 reverse.
Is that Gulf Oil again?
It is Rene Emmer, the top golf oil guy from last race, if I do recall correctly.
Ha-cha-cha.
How has his season been going? Where is he?
The worst. He's been intercepted 17 times and has also committed 5 major.
He's outside the top 10. It looks like he's just had some really sporadic attendance. He had a double 5th place at Donington Park, 19th at Brands Hatch, plus a DNF, and then he's here for this race. So he's just missed a bunch of races. It's been very part-time.
Dang.
No John. Notable absentees today. No John Barker. No Anthony Willis. No Samuel Oliveira. No Ilya Gorbasekov.
Goljug.
All right. Time to find out. Was it reverse grid 10 or reverse grid 12? The reverse grid should provide us with a lot more action here in race number 2. As we take a lovely look at some of the support structures here and the grandstands of Silverstone.
Very high fidelity. Many polygons were sacrificed to bring us this view.
All right, here we go. I think that is Komorowski up at the front. It is. Joined by Darnell D and Butler. Top 5 rounded up by Rene Armour. We are off here for the final round of the season. James Butler bogs down at the start, loses out to 4th place to Rene Armour. Will probably also lose out a spot here to Antonio Costa. Will Costa going for Armour as well. And I think he got him. Antonio Costa with a great start. Up to P4. Side-by-side action between Darnell and Komorowski at the front. Darnell had the lead, but it has gone to Komorowski now. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Andrew D gets hit from behind by Rene Armour. Rene Armour gets hit from behind, and they are both off the track. Komorowski leads from Darnell. James Butler up into 3rd place. Bertrand Barrier, Martin Edmonds. Alejandro Tomino up into 6th place. Wow. Henrik Andreasen, Antonio Costa, Tobias Thierolf, and R. Marquez rounding off your top 10. We're down to 21 cars. By the way, we've lost a couple, including Durlon Iceman.
Dang.
Also, unfortunately, it looks like we lost Mauricio. Oh, no, there he is. See Mauricio. Lost a number of people, though. Let's see here who we lost. We've lost Ken. No, Ken Scott's still out there. We lost Durlon. We lost Vic Vega. Did we lose Steve Davidson, or is he still out there? I think we lost Steve Dave.
No!
That's quite disappointing.
What am I going to say for the next, the whole entire race? Other than you get him Steve Dave.
Oh, big pile up.
That's a problem.
Magic Kazchuk involved in that, as well as Scott Nick. Rene Ermer as well. So Komarowski leads from Andy Darnell, James Butler, Martin Edmonds, Bertrand Barrier, Henrik Andreasen, Tobias Thierolf, Mr. Marquez, Laissez Passer, and Alejandro Tomino. Darnell down the inside and back into the lead.
I am appreciating the helicopter cam. Very nice.
James Butler is the danger man, though, as he goes up the inside of Komarowski into second place. Oh, can't hang it.
Boom. Well, he fucking got bumped.
I don't think he actually got bumped. Looked like he lost.
You would be wrong.
Looked like he lost the back end before the bump, to be honest.
That would be incorrect.
As Bertrand Barrier getting real rough. That is with Mr. Marquez.
Hello.
And somebody was off there. Did not see who. Oh, it's Andy Darnell. No, Darnell still leads. So not Darnell. Which of the blue cars?
Andreasen.
I don't know. Rather aggressive move there on Martin Edmonds by that was Henrik Andreasen. That is a little bit of impatience from the Norwegian driver. Costs him. He's off the track. Adam Komarowski down to 8th place. So he's having a rough time. Darnell leads from Butler and Marquez up into 3rd place. He's having a phenomenal race. Hanging on against Martin Edmonds at the moment. It's been a heck of a KO. Oh no, more action.
Wow.
And Scott off the track.
Yeah, T-Bone, fuck him up.
Scott Nick. Laissez Passer off the track. Andrew D dropping to the back. Rough times. Sometimes you just got to keep it clean, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah!
Martin Edmonds gets turned in on by Marquez.
Oh, boy.
That one's on Marquez, I would have to say.
Probably.
I don't know where he thought Martin was going to go.
Damn it, Ricardo.
Oh, that's also a possible. Darnell in the lead. Butler, Andreasen now up to 3rd. Barrier, Komarowski, Tomino, who we're looking at right now. Marquez rejoins in 7th place ahead of Mauricio Delgado. Martin Edmonds is in 9th. And then Sean Kenny has come through the field to 10th place.
James is about to get buttled on.
Another car we have lost was Andy Foster.
Foster's Australian for dishwashing fluid. Alejandro
Tomino.
See.
Ahead of his fellow countrymen. Oh, and we lost Real Velour. No, there he is. He's
Raul Valour.
James Butler is still trying to chase his first win of the season. And to be clear, that's not me talking shit about Butler. That's the domination that Andreasen and Thierolf have had because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 victories between them.
That's a whole bunch.
Martin's got 1 and Anthony Willis has got 1. That's the domination we're talking about here. There have not been many wins to come by that the two championship rivals have not taken. James Butler going for it now, and he is ahead of Andy Darnell. Looks like he will indeed lead this race, becoming the third different leader of this race. We've seen Adam Komorowski at the front, we've seen Andy Darnell, and now we've seen James Butler. Alejandro Tomino looking for a way past Adam Komorowski.
Alejandro is muy caliente.
Looking for top 5 here in that Gulf oil livery.
Sí.
Wish we could get a look at Rick Martel and Laissez Passer as Mr. Passer picks up 19th place off of the Martellinus. Darnell looking to get that lead back against Butler. These are two very determined, very dogged racers. I don't think this is not over by a long shot.
Go, Butler. Go. All the way. Have we ever seen Butler win a race? We must have at some point.
Maybe in the academy.
Statistically speaking, we must have seen it.
Well, hang on.
What, are you going to like scour the archives for every race? He's ever run?
No, Race App keeps a track of your results within a community. So
oh, shit. I did not know that. Bertrand Barrio, you've been fined 17 yaks for being too fast. Adam Komorowski, similar. And we're going back to the barter system.
He does have ESR wins, but I don't recall us doing commentary on the Audi 90 Quattro series.
Couldn't tell you.
Which he took 2 victories in.
Those are the same cars we're watching here, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
These are Aquilas.
Oh, your boy also. Well,
actually,
Mauricio!
He had 3 wins, actually.
Damn it, Mauricio. You're supposed to pull out in front of them and then slow them down. That's how it's supposed to go. Very dangerous. I mean, maybe. We got double blue cars with the gold ass wheels.
Indeed, Henrik Andreasen and Andy Darnell. I'm seeing wins for Mr. Butler, but I'm not recalling these races. These are just not cars I recall doing any commentary on. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Must have all been in iRacing.
Oh, he won a Bilsterberg race in the WTCRs. Okay, so we probably did that commentary.
There you go.
That was back in 2020, though, so it's been a while since we commentated. Put it that way.
So back to the basketball stats. I had a look at Sam Cassell's career, and he had quite a career. Very well done.
Very good.
He's an exemplary human being, I think. I don't know. I don't know anything about him.
He was part of a big 3 in Minnesota. Also does really good things with the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, but the first 2 years in the league, he was with Houston. First 3 years. But the first 2 of the 3, he won. They won the titles. And then his very last year, he was with Boston, played 17 games, and they got a title as well.
There you go.
Just like, well done, sir. Oh, it's because they traded. Oh, yeah, he was with the Clippers, and they traded him. Oh, wait, he was with. Yeah, no, never mind.
Ooh, very slow-moving Andy Darnell getting picked off there by Henrik Andreasen. Oh, Darnell is going very, very slowly. Camera guy, can we get on Andy Darnell? Because he is seemingly in trouble.
Raul.
He is also dropped behind Bertrand Barrier. Seems to be okay now. But something weird happened there for Andy Darnell. And now he's got to deal with Alejandro Tomino versus trying to go for a race win. Adam Komorowski behind him, Martin Edmonds, Marquez, Kenny, and Thierolf rounding off the top 10. Thierolf is not having a very good race for what could be a championship. Well, what will be a championship deciding race.
And yet he just moved up into ninth.
He did, overtaking Sean Kenny. Andy Darnell is trying to defend hard against Tamina. There's got to be something wrong with that car. It doesn't seem to have any get up and go.
Will debase self for Fernando Gill. Magic Cabbage Truck, what are you doing?
Running in 16th place, behind Fernando Gill.
What a jerk.
It is Ruben Marquez. There we go. We got a first name.
Oh, there you go. Ruben Marquez.
Ruben's Baracello. Ruben Sierra.
That reminds me, every time somebody brings up Rubens Barrichello, it reminds me of one episode of Top Gear where I can't remember if this was a real thing they did or if it was just something that Clarkson said out loud, but it was something about pushing a bust of Rubens Barrichello made out of butter through a desk fan.
They did that. Yeah.
That made me laugh. Sometimes I have remembrances problems. Raul
Valoria with the Red Devil livery, battling with fellow Red Devil racer Taka Maroka.
Red Devil Fight Club.
Still 12 minutes to go. Plenty of time, but Henrik Andreasen is within a second of race leader James Butler. And Raul Valoria picks up the spot there over Taka, moving into 12th place.
You will now see Rick the Model Martel make every move possible and win the race.
I'd love it. I'm here for it.
Indeed.
There's the battle for the lead. James Butler in the green and white. Henrik Andreasen in the blue and white. Further back, Martin Edmonds putting the pressure on pole sitter Adam Komorowski. He gets a little bit of oversteer there. And Martin is going to be through. Oh, I don't know about that.
Maybe.
That was a little bit of dirty pool. Edmonds gets the spot eventually. And in fact, it's going to cost Komorowski because he drops behind Ruben Marquez as well.
Rubenesque Barrichello.
And Tobias Thierolf. So he's got problems. Rubens Barrichello did have probably the most memorable win. First win of a Formula One career ever. So setting the scene here for you, he was driving for Ferrari. Qualified 18th for the 2000 German Grand Prix, which was uncharacteristically away from the front. It was a wet-dry race. There was wet times, there was dry times, and being on the right tires at the right time gave some hero moments, the likes of Rubens Barrichello as well as Heinz-Harald Frentzen, although Frentzen eventually retired. And Barrichello ended up beating the two McLarens of Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard to the win. It was a big deal in the championship at the time.
David Cool Cigarettes Coulthard.
Because teammate and championship contender Michael Schumacher went out at corner one when he decided to drive into Giancarlo Fisichella very rudely. And, broke both their cars.
What a dick.
I felt for Fisichella because it was one of his rare days when the Benetton was actually fast enough to fight for a podium. Because Benetton's whole problem was at that point they were using engines from 1997 and it was 2000. So their car was incredibly mercurial. It was either good or terrible. And it was one of their good days, and here he is getting taken out by Michael Schumacher at the first corner.
And no one wants to get taken out by a cobbler.
No, not really. A couple of really good runs were in that race, including both the Williams drivers, Ralf Schumacher and Jenson Button, coming from behind as Henrik Andreasen takes the lead. Side-by-side action up ahead of Andrew D between Magic Kazchuk and Laissez Passer. Kazchuk has really had a rough race. He is down battling with some guys you would generally not expect to see him fighting with, as Bertrand Barrier hops over the oh, contact that is passe, and Kazchuk. No, guys, no. I'll head to Trevino, by the way, up onto the podium with that spin from Bertrand Barrier. Also, I completely forgot that we had that glitch where the only 21 cars show on the tower. So we do in fact have more than 21 cars running, because I just saw Andy Foster appear out of, nowhere. Andy Darnell continuing to abuse track limits. Please slow your ass down. And that costs him 2 spots to Martin Edmonds and Tobias Thierolf.
And $5,000 payable to me.
That'd be nice. Andreasen leads from Butler by 7 tenths. Butler's keeping him honest. Tamino, Barrier, Edmonds. Followed by this man, Thierolf, who's looking for a championship, and I'm not sure if 6th place is going to do it for him. Darnell, Marquez, Komorowski, Kenny, Ermer, Valoria, Maroka. Then it's Costa. Antonio Costa's been kind of nowhere this race. As somebody spins around there in the Lotus colors. That is Sean Kenny dropping out of the top 10.
And what is the frequency on that?
Then we have Andrew D, Scott Nick, Magic Kazchuk, Mauricio Delgado, Laissez Passer, Rick Martel, and Andy Foster. No, Thierolf. It's going to cost you 6th place. Andy Darnell back ahead of him. Andreasen pulling away from Butler now. Gap is up over a second to 1.2, 1.5. Still close. Far from over. But that's the first time we've really seen much of a gap be pulled over a lap. Thierolf looking to make the overtake on Darnell, which will happen off camera. Edmonds looking for P4 against Bertrand Barrier. Once again, the battle of French Canada versus French.
There seems to be a certain Barrier to entry.
Martin's had a really solid campaign on the way to this 3rd place in the championship right now. He's taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 podiums. A win at Silverstone in the national layout, as well as all 3 podiums at the Silverstone national layout. Also had a third place at Donington Park, as well as Branch Hatch Indy, and of course the first race here today at Silverstone. As Rene Ermer overtakes Adam Komorowski for 9th place, he's on the charge. Next up on his list, Ruben Marquez. Couple of guys are really out of position today. You don't see Antonio Costa out of the top 10 very often. You don't see Andrew D out of the top 10 very often. Same with Magic Kazchuk. Number of people just having rough times. And they're running out of time here because 4 minutes and change left in the race. That's probably only about 2 laps, maybe 3.
Well, I mean, if you go fast enough, there's at least 500 laps.
Not really possible. You'd be way ahead if you could do that kind of lap pace.
Hell yeah. That's where Rick Martel's going to switch on right now.
Check in on Antonio Costa, tracking down Raul Valoria. Battle for 12th place. Ruben Marquez continue to abuse track limits. He'll have a long slowdown off of that. Might open the door for Rene Ermer as well as Adam Komorowski. Tobias Thierolf, the championship leader coming into the day, running in 6th place. One race won, but it doesn't look like he's going to repeat in race number 2. And his rival is out in front.
So far out in front that he's actually already finished the race. So fast, the game glitched out, doesn't even recognize it yet.
Now he's not that far out. He's still only about 2 seconds up on James Butler. Antonio Costa. That is not Antonio Costa we're looking at. I wonder whom that is. I think that was Thierolf we were looking at there in the white car. This is Costa in the black and yellow. On the tail of the Red Devils car of Raul Valoria. Rene Ermer looking for a way past Ruben Marquez. No going for it yet. Tobias Thierolf up on the back of Edmonds and Barrier.
Oh my God, it's David Coulthard with a chair.
The ultimate number 2 driver, David Coulthard. There are very few people who can be like rated like, oh, that was a little bit nasty by Antonio Costa. Just pretty much nipping Raul Valoria to a spin. It looks like he feels bad. He's going to let Valoria take that spot back. I was going to say, Coulthard is oddly highly ranked for a guy who got outpaced by 4 different teammates over the course of his career.
And all of them named Samuel.
No, they were Damon Hill, Mika Hakkinen, Kimi Räikkönen, and Mark Webber. Pretty good company. 3 of them were world champions. Webber is the only one that wasn't. Some liberal track limit use there by Andy Darnell, and he does indeed get the steward's penalty there. He'll have to slow down and leaves him kind of open to being overtaken at Magas and Beckett's by Rene Ermer. And that happens off screen because, you know, that's where we want our action. Oh, no, I think Andy Darnell picked up a stop-go penalty. I think he might have. That's bad. He's not going to be able to serve that, so that'll be a time penalty. Don't know where that's going to put him. Quite a ways down, I would imagine. Checker flag is out. Henrik Andreasen is your winner. And we will find out if that is enough to get the championship for him. Big spin for Sean Kenny. Adam Komorowski running in 10th place behind Andy Darnell, although Darnell may have a time penalty.
I will impose the penalty. 17 hours.
Valoria with Costa and Marioka battling over 12th place. Mauricio Delgado at 18th. Just waiting on everybody to hit the checkered flag for the last time. There it is for Mauricio. And I do believe this is Rick Martel bringing it home.
Hell yeah, Rick Martel wins.
20th place, Andy Foster, 21st. There may be some others still going. I don't know. We're limited to 21 on the tower. There's your final results. Henrik Andreasen, your winner. Tobias Thierol did snatch the fastest lap while finishing 5th place. James Butler and Alejandro Tomino on the podium, followed by Martin Evans, Tobias Thierol, Bertrand Barrier, Rene Armour, Ruben Marquez, Adam Komorowski, and Sean Kenny, your top 10. Raul Valoria, Antonio Costa, Taka Marioka, Andrew D, Scott Nick, Laissez Passer, Mauricio Delgado, Magic Kashchuk, Rick Martel, Andy Foster, and Andy Darnell's penalty puts him at the back of the pack. It is a 120-second penalty. We lost Fernando Gill, Ken Scott, Derlon Iceman, Steve Davidson, Paul Rogers, Ican Lopez, and Vic Vega from the proceedings. And I will give you the championship rundown. With 233 points, your champion is Henrik Andreasen. Tobias Thierol on 219. 171 for Martin Evans, 123 for Bertrand Barrier, and 119 for Andy Darnell, despite the penalty. That was, in fact, Darnell's only non-top 10 of the season. Very impressive. Rounding off the top 10, James Butler, Andrew D, Magic Kashchuk, Steve Davidson, and Antonio Costa. Following that, we have John Barker, Rene Armour, Adam Komorowski, Raul Valoria, Anthony Willis, Mauricio Delgado, Taka Marioka, Vic Vega, Samuel Oliveira, Sean Kenny, and the rest. In the team's championship, Transatlantic Hurricane, that is Tobias Thierol and Andrew D, take the title. Ahead of Canadian Pole Old G, that is Martin Evans and Magic Kashchuk. And the Dogged Duo Racing, that is John Barker and James Butler, the JBs, 319, 267, and 185 points, respectively. Rounding off the top 10, it is the Yellow Submarine, Bertrand Barrier and Mauricio Delgado. Real Golf Racing, Rene Armour and Steve Davidson. Petrol Heads, Andy Darnell and Samuel Oliveira. Turbo Turtles, Taka Marioka and Adam Komorowski. Zero Racing Crew, that is myself and Rick Martel. The OGs, Richard DeRoche and Sean Kenny. And the Inspired Yorkshire, which consists of just one driver, Jordan Evans. So, Byron, do you have any final thoughts about this series and what we just witnessed?
Not at all. But if John and James don't get a couple extra partners, or at least one extra partner next year, and their team name isn't PB and JB, that's a lost opportunity.